Alright, you lint lickers, welcome back to the channel. Today, gonna do some work on my old piece of shit Polaris Hawkeye here. That was been a while since I posted, been caught up with a whole bunch of shit. Some of us actually got to work. And so I've been doing some upgrades on the old Hawkeye here. I got a little surprise coming, hopefully whenever they can build the sumbitch. So we got a little surprise coming up here in the next couple months for a new toy coming into the stables. So in the meantime, I've been getting this little Polaris Hawkeye ready for my wife to ride. It's a great size for her. She's a small little thing, so this will work out really nice for her to ride. It's a 300 cc motor, 2006. Decent little quad. Ain't built the heaviest duty out of a lot of things, you know, a lot of the A-arms and all that kind of shit are real light duty. We had to do a couple modifications and stuff to it and fixing some different things, but overall been a fairly reliable four-wheeler. So anyway, we got, one of the things I'd done to it was to put a while back, put these Pitbull growlers on, got them on sale like dirt cheap. And so it had, the four-wheeler originally had 22s on the sumbitch, and I got the bright idea to try and stuff 25s under it with no lift, which they actually fit really well in the front and don't have any issues. I got the springs and all cranked up on it a little bit to help keep it from bottoming out so bad and get a little more height on it. But on the rear end, she was chewing through the wheel wells in the back, which if you're riding two people on it or whatever like that, a little annoying when something's chewing at the back side of your heel, or you know, when you're in the mud, it piles all the mud up inside the back there. So that was one of the things I wanted to address before I give it to her to ride full time, was get all this shit fixed. So what I done was get, and this is real easy fix and it'll last a long time. I got some nice aluminum sheet metal here and just basically molded it into the wheel well, and then have taken and pop riveted on there, and you know, on the back side where you can put some the little pop rivet backing plate so it don't pull right through the plastic. So this side I've been working on a little ways here. The other side got done and it turned out pretty good. So as you can see, you know, it turned out pretty good. Sprayed it with some bed liner. You know, I ain't the best rattle can man in the world, so yeah, I got some runs just like my fucking colon got the run, son, and got it all nice and tightened up. And in the back there you can see all covered up. So we're going to finish up on that a little bit here on this other side. Get working on some pop rivets here on the back side and make it happen. But I hope y'all been doing pretty well during this whole fucking COVID deal. I hope all you guys been fucking staying busy, because I'll tell you what, I'm a truck driver. I've been busier than a fucking three-legged cat trying to bury a turd on a frozen lake. It's been good, luckily. But I know there's a lot of people out there that are really fucking hurting nowadays. But yeah, I mean, pop rivet gun, if y'all ain't got a nice pop rivet gun, I'm telling you, they are indispensable, man. It might be some hillbilly redneck shit way to fix stuff, but you can use them for a lot of different things, man. They work really well, and a lot of times they work better than if you were to try and use, like a lot of guys when they bust four-wheeler plastics and shit, they'll take zip ties and stitch them back together. Fucking little piece of sheet metal and pop rivets to hold up a hell of a lot better than that shit does. That's what I prefer personally. I've tried everything to get four-wheeler plastics back together, and nothing quite seemed to hold up as well as the pop rivets do. just kind of want to space them out close to the edge there as you can. Space them out kind of even. And you do a little bit and then freaking put some pot rivets in, seal her ass up. And then, so I'll do one and then put my little backer plate on the back side there and kind of work your rivet gun. You just gotta cinch it down just a little bit, but you want to make sure you get that motherfucker nice and tight on the fender there. And once you get your first little cinch in that grabs hold of that backing plate, you can go ahead and fucking let her eat, son. Let her have it. And I'll do one backer plate and skip one if the metal's all laying nice and tight. If it's a little more difficult area where if the metal's trying to peel away, I might put a couple pot rivets right together. That way she's gonna hold for you. One of the things I've done just cosmetically to bring this four-wheeler back around a little bit was use some back to black. I believe it's McGuire's or no, it's Mullen. Makes some stuff called back to black. I always used it on my Jeeps for the fender flares and all that kind of stuff that like to fade real bad from the UV exposure. And man, that shit worked great on these racks. They're still a little chalky. It could probably use another coat or two, but you just smear that shit on there nice and heavy and fucking it'll soak right in over time. If you can leave what you're working on inside while you're doing it, like over, you can even do it. It usually take a couple days most of the time, and you can put that shit on there nice and heavy like, and it'll soak in really, really good. So yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing to fix these. You just want to kind of take your hand, kind of manipulate the metal the best you can, where you got your little divots and shit, get it down in there real good. Alright, so now once you get all your rivets in, get your metal all hammered in kind of where you want it, and you make sure you really ain't got any serious lips or anything, your metal's sitting all fairly tight to the plastic, but you can only do so much. Once you get all that done, you're going to want to start taping. Now, when you start taping, basically, you want to leave a little gap between the metal and the plastic, because we're using that bed liner spray, and we're going to want it to build up between your tape line and the metal. That way, the bed liner spray will stick to the plastic, and it'll help smooth that transition between the metal and the plastic, so that way your back of your calf or anything like that don't get cut on that sharp metal. But once I cut out my metal, I always take a grinder with a flat wheel on it, smooth all that down real nice, and round your edges and everything, so that way it's not sharp, but you're still going to have some sharp edges on it. So basically, you're going to just want to take your tape, and I like to run my tape up, like three or four layers, so that way you got plenty of coverage between what you're trying to spray and what you're not. That way you don't get a whole lot of overspray on stuff. You're just going to want to work it around. Get down there in your foot well. That's the one area I'm really not too happy with down here. It's a little sharp. The other side turned out a little better in that respect. But, you know, most of the time, that little hole there, your heel ain't getting down in there. So, just gotta do the best you can with what you got. It's a fucking four-wheeler. It ain't no fucking piece of shit SEMA build or a showpiece or nothing. You're gonna use it. So it's gonna get fucked up and scuffed up anyway. But I do a halfway decent job anyhow. I try to. It don't work out most of the time, but you know, all you can do is all you can do. Like my daddy always says, stupid is as stupid does, and you ain't good for nothing. You can always be used as a bad example. So here you go, fuckers. I'm your bad example for today. How about that? Key when you're using tape and trying to tape curves and things like that, you want to lead the tape, you know, have about I don't know, foot or so of tape not stuck down. You just want to take your thumb and just kind of maneuver it where you want it. And take the thinner. And we're back. Sorry about that. Y'all fuckers just went for a ride. But the key with tape, the thinner the tape you use, the easier it is to maneuver, without a doubt. There you go. So now you get your spray paint. A lot of people really underestimate the amount of difference it makes with shaking the can. Because if you ain't shaking the shit out of that can, get that paint all nice and stirred up, you ain't gonna fuck off. While I'm shaking, I'll use my sanding sponge and rough up what I'm trying to shoot a little bit. That way it'll stick. A little dust in there. Alright, cover everything up that we don't want fucking sprayed. Just kind of drape it over there nice like. Looks good enough to me. So this is what we're using. Just pretty fucking easy. A good old Rust-Oleum. And I don't know, for the price, this stuff seems to work real good. It holds up well. It don't peel off. I've been pretty happy with it. I've used it on a couple different things. And it's turned out good. And we're just gonna get a little test spray down the floor there. Now we're good to go. So we're just gonna give it a little light kiss. Get the whole thing. Give ourselves a little tack coat. It ain't got to be much, and you can have some white spots in it and shit like that. It don't matter because we're gonna come back. But you want to get that paint something to stick to before you get going all crazy. That way it helps with your runs, especially with this kind of paint, because this shit is thick and heavy and it'll run in a heartbeat. It's better than, I guess, I don't know, it might be better than a thinner paint. I don't fucking know. I ain't no painter. All I am is a rattle can monkey. That's it. I don't know. Fuck all about painting, so don't take my word for it. So while that shit's drying, we're going to go ahead and guess we'll touch up on these plastics a little bit. Let me see if I can see. So you can kind of see right here. Yeah, and you can see where it's kind of light right there. You can really see down in there. That's where I couldn't really get to. But the I've been happy with this shit, man. It works fucking good. Oh, stop. Stay there, bastard. Well, this is the back to black, man. This shit. And I don't really like, they got some spray stuff or something now. And I ain't been, I don't know. I've always had good luck with this, with the liquid. It seems to work well. I'm just smoking. Take me a little, this is my sponge I use. This is what I always use for my back to black stuff whenever I apply it. And you can see it coming back. And it takes it a couple times, but the more you put it in there and rehydrate that plastic, the more it'll come around. And it makes a big difference. A lot of times when you get a Jeep or something and the fenders they're like white almost, or you know, a real light gray, usually takes about a year to get them brought all the way back around. And if you just hit them, like initially I'll hit them every month. Like if you're washing or something like that, you hit them every month after you wash the vehicle, and then by the time it's been a year, they'll come right back around, look real good. So you see that color down in there. I'm gonna walk you over here to my wife's JK, and I'll show you. These lights here used to be that same color. They were real gray, and now you can't even tell, man. They come right back around. You know, I do the same thing with the hood latches and all that kind of stuff. That shit works wonders, man. I've been real tickled with it. But we're gonna let that tack up because it's kind of cold in here today. It's about 50 degrees. I could turn my heater on, but that motherfucker likes to eat propane, so I can get away with it today. I ain't firing that bastard up. So yeah, this old four-wheeler, it's a 06. It's been pretty good. It seems to eat batteries every couple of years, but you know, they don't make batteries like they used to anyway. If it ain't an Optima, it ain't no good. That's one thing I have had a lot of good luck with, is Optima yellow top batteries. I got one in my Cherokee right now that's been in there for well, it was originally in my CJ, and then when I finally parked it, I took it out because the one in the Cherokee took a dump. So I went ahead and put it in there, and man, that battery is every bit of 7 years old, something like that, and man, she's been working like a charm. So we're gonna come back down here. What, you want to paint too? Is that what you want? You want to do some painting? So we're gonna come in here and we got our paint. So let me see if we can focus. You fuck. In the words of the almighty AVE. And we're just gonna give her a little kiss. There. And when you're shooting, you want to make sure, you know, that was the whole reason of leaving that gap. You want to shoot sideways and get up underneath, just like that, up underneath of that metal, and fill in that gap. That's the great thing about this bedliner spray, is it will fill in that gap. And you can see it's gonna probably run there. I got a little heavy-handed. So we'll give it a little break, let it recover a little bit, and we'll come back. Another little tip for you guys while we're waiting for that paint to tack up a little bit more. For your four-wheelers, use marine grease. See, it says right there 4WD. Hell yeah, boy. So that's what I run, and all my equipment, my boat trailer and four-wheelers and shit that you're worried about getting wet and being in the mortar and stuff like that, that marine grease seems to hold up a whole lot better and help fight water penetration, and it sticks better. So that's what I use on my four-wheelers. So we're gonna come back here on the back side. We're gonna spray all this shit back here real good. And we're not more worried about necessarily making it look good. We're just trying to keep that bed liner to help the rivets to stick and keep them from pulling out, and help mud from getting up in there and all that good shit. I love this bed liner spray. It works good and it holds up well. That's what I did on the front of her. This thing had the bumper. All this is all metal. It was all like a silvery color. It looked like shit. So freaking painted it all up. Looks pretty tough, I think. You know, better than a silver, because there ain't no silver on the whole damn four-wheeler. It don't make no sense. You know, so do that. Give her a little extra flair. Where's my paint? Hit her one more coat. Can's getting kind of empty. And with this bed liner spray, you always want to make sure you keep it shook every time you pick that can up. Shake that shit, because it won't have the aggregate in it like you need. Alright, so that's done. We'll go ahead and let that dry for a while, and we'll come back and peel tape. One little trick I've learned over the years is when you get done with your spray paint, you want to, especially shit like this, you always want to turn the can upside down and spray it till nothing but clear aerosol comes out, and then just wipe that nozzle off a little bit. Yeah, use anything, really. I know this is so fucking helpful. I gotta learn how to use it. I'll do all this shit with one hand and look through the phone. So then once you wipe it off, turn it upside down one more time, give her a little spray, and she should be cleaned out. That way, next time you go use it, it ain't fucked. So we done waited a little bit, got our paint and everything tacked up enough where we can go ahead and pull tape. I like to pull tape while paint's still wet, because if you don't, to me, usually it'll want to peel the paint away with the tape if you got a lot of overspray, especially with a real thick paint like this. I like to pull that fucking tape just as soon as I can, because it'll help immensely. So let me set y'all up here. You guys can hang out there with Tank. Yeah. So go ahead and start peeling tape here. That way you get a nice sharp tape line, and it don't get all fucking crazy peeling your damn tape up. That's useless as tits on a bore hole. You know what I mean? Peel the damn tape up, paint up, crowd. as you look at that, let me zoom y'all. Oh shit, hold on. Let me zoom y'all out here. That way we get a little better resolution. So as you can see, a lot of that bed liner paint is filled in on the back side there and sealing all that up nicely. And that's exactly what you want. And you know, even though there I got a little gap still, it's fine because the paint is on the inside and on the top, so it'll definitely help all that seal up much better. And you know, we're not worried about sealing it necessarily, but helping keep it from being a sharp pointy edge that you can get shit hung up on and stuff. And that's all there is to it, man. So we'll see. One of the other things we're doing this four-wheeler is installing a winch. I got the winch controller up on the handlebars there. Got it zip tied. I don't know, I'm probably gonna rig up a little bit more secure means of holding it there, but before we make it real super secure, I want to make sure that it's gonna work okay with my wife as far as her riding it, so I don't want to do nothing real permanent yet. But we're putting a winch on it. I just got an old Harbor junk winch, and it's gonna mount right up in there. You got the 4 bolt holes here, and I found I was gonna make a plate, but I got looking on online, and I found a fucking plate bent up ready to go for like $40. So I was like, fuck, you can't beat that. Versus trying to cobble something together, and this thing ain't, like I said, ain't made of the most heavy duty shit in the world, so I really ain't trying to put something on there and it rip itself apart. But yeah, just the little bad laying winch, you know, ain't nothing fucking special, but should fucking hold up right good, I guess. So we're gonna see what happens. But yeah, so we got that going. One of the other things we're doing this four-wheeler is installing a winch. I got the winch controller up on the handlebars there. Got it zip tied. I don't know, I'm probably gonna rig up a little bit more secure means of holding it there, but before we make it real super secure, I want to make sure that it's gonna work okay with my wife as far as her riding it, so I don't want to do nothing real permanent yet. But we're putting a winch on it. I just got an old Harbor junk winch, and it's gonna mount right up in there. You got the 4 bolt holes here, and I found I was gonna make a plate, but I got looking on online, and I found a fucking plate bent up ready to go for like $40. So I was like, fuck, you can't beat that. Versus trying to cobble something together, and this thing ain't, like I said, ain't made of the most heavy duty shit in the world, so I really ain't trying to put something on there and it rip itself apart. But yeah, just the little bad laying winch, you know, ain't nothing fucking special, but should fucking hold up right good, I guess. So we're gonna see what happens. But yeah, so we got, and we'll have that Jeep back going. So appreciate you guys watching. Hope y'all been staying out of trouble, and take it easy.